2016. Take that out. You'll be turning that in with your task cards here once we're finished. Okay, if you read the slide the other day, anybody catch anything that's going to happen on Friday? All right, so a little quiz, and I wouldn't really call it a test, but you're going to have air test questions that we did yesterday and today, and the ones that you're going to get on your reviews. Okay, it's going to look very similar to this. Okay, we're going to have just a little one on Friday. No need to panic. You'll do just fine. All right, here we go. 2016. These are the exact same questions that the kids took in 2016 that were on the air test. Okay. So, number one, an expression is shown, 6n. There you go. That's from chapter 1, right? What is the value of the expression when n is equal to 7? We got. Shout it out. 42, right? Listen, it doesn't get any easier than that, right? They want to know if you know, because there's no multiplication sign, there's no raised dot, there's no anything, okay? If you know what to do with that expression. Michael. You'll be taking one portion on April 28th and the other portion on April 29th. I don't know which one is the calculator or non-calculator part yet. I don't know. All right, number 2. All right. So here it says we have a rectangular flag that has a width of 3 2/3 feet, and the area is 8 3/4 feet squared. Which expression could be used to calculate the length in feet of a rectangle? Okay. What do you first need to know? Come on. This is lesson 1.5. This is in chapter 5 as well. The end of chapter 5. What do they give you? They give you the width and the area. What do we say? Draw a picture if you need to. The width is 3 2/3. The area is 8 3/4. What are you missing? What are you missing? You're missing the length. Okay. So what do you need to know? See, look again here. They're not asking you to solve for the length, right? They're not asking you. Here's another division problem. Here we go. Question 2 is a division problem. Okay. How about knowing the formula? Oh, yeah. How about plugging the numbers in where they go? 8 3/4. And let me do this. 8 3/4 is equal to, you don't know the length, and you know that it's 3 2/3. So how do you solve for the length is what they're asking. Don't you do one of these? Don't you do one of these? Isn't that chapter 7? Yeah. So now from that, it's vertical, but can you put it horizontally? See how they're testing you, whether you know what to do? This isn't a hard question. One, you got to know the formula. Oops. Length times width. Sorry about that. Okay, so you had 8 3/4 over 8 2/3. Okay, what did we talk about the second week of school about knowing the divisor and dividend? Remember? Yeah, and right here it is. Which one goes behind the symbol? Come on, yell it out. Nobody knows? Oh boy. That would be letter B. Okay, moving on. Okay, Casey has a total of 18 pens. 12 of the pens are blue. And the rest are red. What's the rest of them? What is it? 6. But if you look over to the left, there's no 12:6. As we said yesterday, what do you got to do? You got to simplify them just like fractions. That would be 2 over 1 or 2:1, 2 over 1. Okay, sometimes when you figure them out, they don't always have the answer over there. You might have to put it in lowest terms or simplest form, whichever term they use. All right, next one. All right, simple expression here. Okay, what do you think they're testing you in that question? Couple things. What's one of them? Ready? All right, very good. The first one they're testing you is the order of operations. Absolutely. Are you going to do the parentheses first? You better. You better. Okay. And in the parentheses, they're testing you if you know how to multiply decimals. Okay. So that's the first number we carry over, and then if you do the math, you should have got 8 736 thousandths. Now from there, to me, that's elementary school. They're testing you if you can subtract decimals, what's the key about adding and subtracting decimals? You got to do what? Oh boy. Nobody knows the adding and subtracting decimals, what your key there, Michael? Okay, you got to line up your decimal point. And then you just simply subtract like their whole numbers. And when you do that, you should have arrived at 3 659 thousand. Pretty good so far? All right, number 5. A school earned $70 for selling 50 tickets for the school play. Each ticket costs the same price. How much does the school earn for one ticket? Okay. What kind of a question is this? Anybody remember? Chapter 5. It has money in it. And you're finding one of something. Remember that unit cost thing? Remember when we talked about going shopping? Okay, so if you remember that, and this has to deal with money, does money go on the top or the bottom? Who remembers? Money goes on top. Always. Always, always, always. You come out with $1.40. All right, next question. Eli ran for 2 weeks. During the first week, he ran 12 miles. During the next week, he ran 15. What is the ratio of number of miles Eli ran the first week to the total number of miles he ran in both weeks? How much did he run in week 1? 12. And for both weeks, 27. Okay, now this one, they didn't ask you to simplify it, okay, because a very possible answer might be 4/9. Okay, but they didn't ask that, so again, letter B would be the appropriate response. Okay, those are pretty straightforward. Should be fairly easy. Okay, looky here, number 7. Here we go. You saw it on the 2019 test. You're now seeing it again on the 2016 test. They're just asking you to straight divide. That's all they're asking you to do. Again, it's not in a little bracket. You've got to know where the numbers go. You got to know which one the divisor and which one the dividend is, and divide correctly. And when you do that here, you should have arrived at 215. So far, so good. All right. Well, looky here, 2016. Knowing the parts that we talked about. They gave you an expression of 5n, and they're asking you simply to tell you what the 5 is. You better not miss this. Zach? Right, it's the coefficient. The number before a variable is called a coefficient. We know what an exponent looks like, yes? That would be the little 2 up there, right? Product is called the what? Answer to multiplication, and the sum is, there you go. Very good. Okay, next question. Oh, we're skipping 9. Should have skipped 9. That's right. Okay, number 10, very similar to the 2. Look, do you see a running theme here? 2019, 2019, 2016, you seeing some correlation to the same types of problem? Yeah. 2x minus 5 is less than 33. Again, pick all the solutions that make the inequality true. Which one should be, you shouldn't miss any of these. You plug them in and see which ones are less than 33. Which ones work? Oliver, which ones work there, buddy? You say B and E? D and E, that is correct, the last 2. Now, isn't it just ironic? Remember the question from yesterday? Same type of deal. What were the answers then? D and E. Okay. Now, I don't know why, but, they're having you check these to do a little bit of math to see if they work. That's all you got to do. Just go letter by letter, plug it in, see if it works. All right, number 11. This was the end of chapter 7. Storage container is shown. The measurements are in feet. What is the volume in cubic feet of the storage area? What are you going to do to those three numbers? Okay, I'm just going to multiply them together. That's all you're going to do. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times a half is going to give you 5 feet cubed. Remember, we're dealing with volume. All right, this is simply 2 times 1 times 2.5. Just multiply them all together. All right, everybody good there? Okay, and the last one here is not difficult, but I'll show you the most common mistake that you children make. Okay, a butcher displays in costs in dollars of different amounts of meat that are shown on the table. Okay, so for 3 pounds of meat, costs 21 bucks. 5 pounds of meat costs $35, and 7 pounds costs 49. Okay, if you recall, you have to do something to this column, and I mean this by, I'll label it A, to get column B. Okay, so you have to do something to 3 to get 21. You got to do something to 5 to get 35. Does it have to be the same number? The answer is yes. Okay, here's the problem though. Create an equation that can be used to find the cost for P pounds of meat. Now, give me the numerical number. Give me the numerical answer to this. What do you got? What is it? Children, this is like a participation thing. You can yell it out. 3 times what gives me 21? 5 times what gives me 35? 7 times what gives me 49? Okay, well, nobody was going to say that, so I guess we'll have to do it the hard way. Now, if you put down 7, you're absolutely wrong. Why? Michael, it's not an equation. They give you what to write here. They give you what to write. The equation in terms of cost is equal to pounds per meat. 7P. There's your equation. It's a multiplication equation to find out the cost of dollars per pound. If it says write an equation, you better have a what in it? You better have an equal sign in there. And generally, they're going to give you the variables. You don't get to pick your own. Okay, but if you would just write down 7, that is absolutely not correct. All right, any questions there? Right? Becoming a little bit more easier, maybe? Okay, so here's what we're going to do. You're going to hand in your 2016 test that we just went over, along with your answers to the task cards. You're going to put your name on both of them. There's staplers up on the table. You're going to drop them in the box. Okay, on today's slide, you have 2 mixed reviews. Okay, I think they're only a couple questions each. You have a video on proportions. You have a couple questions on proportions. And then you have a spiral review, which I do have a hard copy for that for you because it's a little bit easier to see it that way. Okay, that's what we're doing for the rest of the day.